Our story begins in Finland. A young girl practices gymnastics in her living room. This is interspersed with pleasing images of a community surrounded by trees. The girl's mother playfully interferes with her practice. The girl is Tinya, who soon enters a room where her father works on a miniature house. Tinya plays around with him while her mom films it. Then all 4 family members sit together. Mom hopes that her viewers' lives are wonderful like theirs. Early on, we observe this as a happy family with plenty of positive things going for them. As they say goodbye to their viewers, they hear a loud noise near the window. Tinya approaches it to spot a feather on the glass. Opening the window, she lets a crow invite itself into the house. The bird causes a lot of damage, flying around in their decorated interior. They attempt to catch it, but the damage only escalates. Eventually, Tinya catches the crow with a cover. She brings it to her mom, who mercilessly takes its life. After all the damage one bird created, we can understand the reason for her action. She tells her daughter to place it in the organic waste. When she does, our view stays on the crow. It slightly moves, showing us it survived. After that, Tinya watches a girl her age behind her fence. The girl introduces herself as Rita, telling Tinya they recently moved in. She holds a dog, which she allows Tinya to pet. For some reason, the dog bites our protagonist. Rita slightly scolds the animal, telling Tinya that it never bit anyone before. Later, Tinya sits with her mom, watching the video she recorded. The mother is a blogger who shows the life of a Finnish family. In the video, she describes Tinya as a gymnast who will soon have her first competition. We get to see footage of the girl engaging in gymnastic activity. After they watch it, Tinya informs her mom that a new family moved in next door. Rita invited her over tomorrow. Yet the mother reminds her that she wants to focus on her competition. At bedtime, something makes Tinya get up to check the organic waste outside. In doing so, she discovers the crow is no longer there. It prompts her to walk through the woods, hearing bird sounds surrounding her. Soon enough, she finds the wounded crow on the ground. We wonder how it got there in its very injured condition. Tinya wants to pick it up, but the crow squawks at her. This makes the girl change her mind about what she wants to do. She takes a rock and slams the bird many times instead. It appears to be truly deceased now. An egg lies there, catching Tinya's attention. She collects it to place it under her stuffed bear at home. The next scene has many young girls practicing gymnastics. We observe Tinya showing her skillful moves. However, her instructor rightfully focuses on her weakness, which is the fall at the end. She is supposed to do a flip. The teacher's advice is that Tinya trust herself. She can't allow the girl to compete if she can't do the flip. We then see her running home in disappointment. Upon arriving home, she witnesses her mom being intimate with a man who isn't her father. Mom quickly stops to introduce the man as Tiro. At a different time, she visits her daughter in her room to ask how practice was. Tinya maybe lies by saying it was good. Mom presents a gift for her, a shiny shirt for Tinya's competition. Afterward, she wants to confirm if her daughter saw her kissing Tiro. Once Tinya nods her head, her mother tells her that sometimes adults have special friends. The girl wants to know where her father fits into this. All she gets as a response is that her father is her father. Mom wants this secret kept between them. She even acts like it's no big deal. Tinya, being young, agrees without a hint of it being a problem. At this point, we are beginning to see this isn't a family that's as clean on the inside as it is on the outside. Because on the outside, everything looks pristine. When she is alone, Tinya takes her egg out. She brings it to her ear, and we hear a heartbeat. In a few days, Mom arrives home after having been away on a trip. She comes to hug her husband. Tinya watches them briefly. We don't know what she's thinking while she does. Perhaps she could be thinking about her mom's cheating. Following this, she walks in on her dad practicing on his new guitar. Since she stands there somewhat awkwardly, we wonder if she wants to tell him about the cheating. They end up just exchanging a few words. Then she takes out her egg again to see it's considerably bigger. It confuses her. The girl cuts an opening in her bear to place it inside. Back at gymnastics practice, Tinya finally does her flip even though she falls doing it. Her instructor acknowledges her improvement. A surprise comes to the girl, seeing Rita there as a new student. She performs her flip better than Tinya, without falling. On top of that, she did it on her first attempt. The teacher tells her it was perfect. Rita's great performance upsets Tinya. Her mom is also there, making the poor girl stay longer until she perfects her flip. Unfortunately, it takes her a while to get it right. Her mother is harsh, not giving her a break. Tinya looks at her blistered hands, which should be tended to. Eventually, the skillful girl finishes her flip without falling. Back in her room, she lies under her blanket, looking at the egg. It is now even bigger than last time. Her hand leaves a reddish light on it, for some reason. Our curiosity regarding what is inside should be growing like the egg itself. Tinya tells the egg she will take care of it. After that, her mom looks at herself in the mirror. There is a long scar on her leg. How it got there, we will probably learn later. With her daughter, she wants to confess something to her. She thinks she's in love. Hearing this makes Tinya laugh innocently. The mother continues by saying that for years, she has just given to others. She thought that's what women had to do. Tiro is the best thing that ever happened to her. She says it's the first time in her life she feels like she loves someone. Her daughter tells her she understands. We then see the girl with her egg, which is gigantic now. She hugs it and cries. Her tears fall on it, causing it to crack. A piece of the shell gets removed, allowing for a hand to emerge from the elastic slime. Tinya hides in the cabinet from such a scary sight. She witnesses a grotesque bird sitting on her bed. She peeks through the opening a second time to get surprised by the bird catching her gaze. It breaks through the window. Her father walks into the room because of that. He questions his daughter about the broken window. She just tells him the truth, that it was a bird. As they are cleaning up the glass outside, she tells him it was a big one. Again, she isn't lying. At night, Tinya hears something outside. Her shattered window is covered by some cardboard for the time being. She approaches it to have the giant bird knock it down before entering her room. Of course, this scares the girl. Despite the creature being a bird, its claws are hand-like. Plus, it has teeth within its beak. Tinya sees a shard of glass in its arm, which is exactly that, not a wing. After removing it, the girl pets the newborn bird. Shortly after, she bathes it. It doesn't take long for the bird to start enjoying it. Then her brother, Macias, wants to come in, but she doesn't let him. This bird is not something she wants the others to see. In bed, she sings a lullaby, while the bird lies underneath. It makes her new pet fall asleep. In the morning, it awakens because of a dog's bark. It goes outside until it approaches Rita's dog. When it returns, it stands atop Tinya in bed. The girl turns to her side, seeing the lifeless dog lying disturbingly beside her. Tinya can only vomit from such brutality. Surprisingly, the bird starts eating what came out of her. At another time, she buries the dog. Wearing a mask, Macias watches her do it from a window. Following this, the girl lies under her bed while hugging her bird. Her dad walks in with Macias. He tells her about how she disallowed her brother to use the washroom last night. Macias resorted to wetting his bed. Tinya has to hold the bird's beak to prevent it from making a sound. Soon her father sees blood on her bed. He seems to acquire some understanding as to what his daughter is going through. It makes him leave quickly. The next scene has Tinya in a bird store where she's picking food for her pet. She gets surprised by Rita's presence there. The girl asks Tinya why she wasn't at her gymnastics practice today. She forgot, is what Tinya says. They walk home together. During their walk, Rita gives her some posters regarding her missing dog. The poor girl thinks her dog ran away. Tinya looks upset, knowing what truly took place. Upon returning home, her mom gives her a gift. Macias gets upset because she didn't give him anything. He sees the missing dog poster that his sister came home with and runs outside. Out of jealousy, the spiteful boy comes back with Rita's dug-up, lifeless dog. Placing it on the table, he tells his parents she buried it. Since he says several times that she took the dog's life, his parents send him to his room, not believing his words. Due to being more upset, he pushes his sister. Her bird instantly feels what he did to her. It seems like they have some paranormal connection. Macias then enters Tinya's room while wearing his mask. He looks under her bed to find whatever he can. Instead, he's the one that gets found by the bird as it destroys his mask with its beak. Once it does, Tinya starts shaking on the floor downstairs. The paranormal connection becomes further established now. Her parents come to her aid. The breaking of the mask happened too quickly for the boy to see what it was. Tinya enters her room afterward to slightly scold her bird. She tells it can't do that, knowing what it did without seeing it. Her mom walks in to question who she's talking to. The girl is forced to say she's talking to herself. However, her mom doesn't buy it as she looks underneath her daughter's bed. Lucky for Tinya, all the lady takes out is a blanket. She opens the cabinet next to see the shirt she gifted to Tinya in a torn state. The bird is hiding there, though the mother doesn't see it. Tinya lies to her mom that an accident put the shiny shirt in such a mess. Her mother leaves in disappointment, telling Tinya she thought the competition was important to her. Later, Tinya does sit-ups, while her bird squeals in the cabinet. She opens it and tries to feed it the seeds she picked up, yet the creature doesn't eat it. Inexplicably, Tinya starts eating the seeds that the bird rejects. As a result, she vomits into her hands. This is what the bird is interested in eating, what Tinya's body throws up. She is the bird's mother. Soon she hears the creature make a sound that sounds like Allie to her. Interestingly, that is the name Tinya sang in her lullaby. That makes her call the bird Allie. Come night, Allie wanders the house while Tinya sleeps. Macias runs away after seeing it. Allie places its hand over the sleeping mother. We observe the hand is now more hand-like. Allie also touches mom's scar. It holds the sleeping woman's hand, bringing wakefulness to her. Allie is not there anymore. The mother looks confusedly at the slime on her hand, plus the slime on her scar. She gets up to see a feather on the floor. It causes her to walk around the house with a knife. Soon enough, Macias runs to hug her, saying Tinya is a monster. She tells her son he had a nightmare, but he protests that it was real. In the next scene, Tinya combs the hair on Allie. The creature has hair now. Tinya also gave it clothes to wear. Showing Allie itself in a mirror, Tinya says it looks beautiful. At gymnastics practice, the instructor, along with Tinya's mom, watches Tinya and Rita perform. As the girls sit talking, the mother approaches them to ask Rita if she found her dog. The girl shakes her head sadly. The mom compliments her gymnastic skills, which turns her frown into a smile. She also tells her daughter she should practice extra hard if she wants to beat her friend. Meanwhile, the cabinet that Tinya has tied up at home shakes to the point of Allie freeing herself. Leaving the gymnasium, Tinya's mom offers Rita a ride home, yet the girl would rather walk. We see her walking alone at night. Something troubles her out there. In the car, Tinya wants her mother to turn back because she senses something is wrong. For a brief moment, we see someone trailing Rita. She turns around to find nothing. Once someone runs past her, the girl starts moving faster in fear. She soon stops to look around. It doesn't take long for Allie to show itself. It can't be called a bird anymore. It no longer has a beak. Rita screams, along with Allie. Through her paranormal connection with the latter, Tanya screams too. Her mother has to take hold of her. She believes her daughter is overreacting due to the nervousness of her competition. According to her, the best way to rid herself of the stress is to win the competition. Of course, saying such a thing to anyone will only cause the stress to pile higher. Then she proposes they spend the weekend at Tiro's place, because she thinks being at home is stressful for Tanya. Back at home, the girl rushes into her room, screaming for Allie. She finds Allie's removed beak in the cabinet. Allie is transforming. We wonder what this strange creature is turning into. During breakfast, Mom tells Tanya they're going to Tiro's house soon. Her father is sitting right there, hearing what his wife said. That makes Tanya give him an odd look, perhaps wondering if he knows what Mom is doing. He looks back at her, saying her mother has a strong will. The man adds that he always respected her knowing what she wants. Those words seem to strongly indicate he knows about the unfaithfulness. Before the scene ends, he says Tiro is a good man. After that, the mother arrives at Tiro's house with her daughter. It looks shabbier than their own. As the duo walk inside, Mom expresses her happiness at being there. Tanya can only watch her with a weird look. Soon, the man shows himself. He speaks to them shortly, before they enter another room which contains Tiro's baby daughter. In there, Tanya continues to wear a worried look. Her mother shares some uncomfortable news with her. She says Tiro's wife lost her life giving birth to this baby. At night, Tanya sits uncomfortably in her given bed, hearing the cries of the baby. Allie then comes to her behind a window. It ends up sleeping in bed with Tanya. While they lie together, Tanya lightly pets Allie, assuring it that everything is okay. In the morning, Tanya starts eating weirdly at the table. She spills some of her food by accident. To make her feel better, Tiro purposefully spills his food too. He even does it again, to make Tanya laugh this time. In the meantime, Mom stands there on the phone, expressing dismay over something. The next scene has Tanya at a hospital, seeing her friend, Rita, in a disturbingly wounded state. We know who did this to her. Trying to touch her hand, Tanya makes the girl wake up in fear. Rita grabs her hand, screaming. Instead of staying to comfort her, Tanya runs away. She rides back to Tiro's house, looking at her hands. At that moment, we see Allie's bloody hands contrast hers. She comes back to her given room and cries. She yells at Allie for harming Rita. Afterward, she slaps herself, affecting Allie in doing so. Allie is prompted to take her hand, preventing further slaps from happening. She hugs her crying mother. Perhaps we can call Tanya that. Later, Allie looks almost like Tanya. She is a girl, maybe turning into her mom for some reason. Then Tanya comes to see Tiro as he works. He tells her he likes fixing broken things. The man gives her a gift that has her name on it. Outside, she shows him her gymnastics moves. She makes a mistake on her second one. Attempting to redo it a few times, she unfortunately cannot correct her mistake. Tiro shows her he can't do a cartwheel to make her feel good again. Soon they hear a shriek, which makes Tanya leave. Tiro returns home too, where he hears vomiting behind a door. It is Tanya vomiting into a bowl to feed Allie. He knocks on the door to ask if she's okay. Since she doesn't answer, he tries opening the door. Tanya gets up to hold it, but the man overpowers her resistance. He observes Allie on the floor and mistakes her for Tanya. The girl comes at him in attack mode. To save him, Tanya closes the door as she stayed hidden from him behind it. Saving him, though, isn't exactly what she does, because the door shuts on his hand. At a different time, Tiro wraps his injured hand. Tanya comes to him, saying she finished packing. The man tells her she doesn't have to leave. He even hugs her after she apologizes. He still doesn't know that Tanya wasn't the one who did it. He believes she behaved like that due to her having a lot to process. Shortly after, Tanya's mom comes back. Asking Tiro what happened to his hand gets her the answer that he injured himself at his workshop. Tanya then performs her moves outside to show her mom. Due to her stumbling, the mother comes to grab her firmly, telling her daughter it's a matter of focus. Tanya sees Allie in the window, which makes her nervous. When the duo start riding away for Tanya's competition, Tanya looks back at Tiro as he holds his baby. She seems fearful of what might happen to them, since Allie is in the house. At the gymnastics competition, Tanya is getting ready to perform. She tries talking to Allie there, telling the girl she hatched not to do anything bad. While Tanya swings around, Allie walks inside Tiro's house holding a hatchet. She approaches the baby with the tool. Knowing about this, Tanya struggles mentally. She falls on purpose, wounding her hand and terminating her chances of winning the competition in order to save Tiro's baby. Her action makes Allie drop the hatchet, because her hand is now injured too. Tiro walks into the room, prompting Allie to jump out the window. The man sees the hatchet on the floor. Back at the gymnasium, Tanya gets tended to. Her mom walks out with her, not looking particularly disappointed with her daughter's failure. They ride back to Tiro's house. Once they get there, Tiro says Tanya did something awful. Her mom defends her, saying they just returned from the competition. However, the man knows what he saw. He says Tanya has serious problems. Surprisingly, he doesn't try to attack her after what he witnessed. He just walks back into his house. Tanya's mother follows him there. Alone outside, Tanya yells out to Allie, yet she gets no answer. Only at night does Tanya leave with her mom, who knows how long she had to stay out there. Her mother enters the car, frustrated. When Tanya touches her arm, the lady screams in anger, while banging her head against the wheel. This mad action gives her a bloody face. She tells her daughter with despair that she thought she would at least let her be happy. This is 2 disappointments the woman has had to experience in one day. So they ride back home in silence. Upon coming back home, Dad is surprised to see his wife with blood on her. She kisses him anyway, acting like everything is normal. Tinya enters her room, where she sees Allie sitting behind the window. She wants her doppelganger to go away. She even opens the window to push her down. Her father sees Allie there, mistaking her for Tinya just like Tiro did. Following this, the mom makes herself look presentable before recording another video. Tinya watches her do it several times over because she's not satisfied with what she says. The girl gets her mother's attention to tell her she can do better. Later, mom enters Tinya's room and sees Allie sitting in the cabinet. Thinking it's her daughter, she urges the girl to come out. In the washroom, Tinya hears her mom talking to Allie. She combs her hair, asking her how she can be so filthy. By accident, some hair gets removed, making the poor girl bleed. She hugs the woman violently, sinking her fingernails into her back. Tinya watches it happen. She rushes into the room to remove Allie. Of course, her mother is flabbergasted upon witnessing both of them there. Allie wants to attack mom again, but our heroine blocks her path. She yells that she doesn't want her. It seems to make Allie open her mouth to the point of ripping it. After she leaves, mom asks what Allie is. Allie is something she hatched, says Tinya. She adds that all the bad things that happened are the fault of the creature. All her mother can do is hug her. After that, the mother takes out a knife and gives one to her daughter. They cautiously make their way through the house with them. Mom soon encounters her husband with maces. She informs the man there is someone in the house that looks like their daughter, though it isn't her. At that point, Macias says it wasn't a nightmare. His mom now agrees with him. Surprisingly, even after telling him about it, the husband is not the one who takes over for his wife. She still enters Tinya's room with the knife in search of Allie. Checking the cabinet reveals nothing to her. But that doesn't mean Allie isn't there. She is there, and she jumps out on the mom, causing her to drop her knife. They struggle together on the floor. The mother collects the knife to stab Allie. Her daughter is there, feeling the pain she inflicts on her doppelganger. She reminds her mom that she hatched it. As her mom is about to stab Allie again, Tinya jumps in front of it. Seeing this, her mom drops the knife to agonize over this tragedy. Allie holds Tinya over her to take Tinya's blood. Then the father enters the room with maces, witnessing Tinya lying over Allie. The blood she absorbed seems to heal Allie's wounds. She gets on all fours to make sounds at the mom. She even says the word, "Mother," making the lady look at her. Allie now stands like a normal human, looking at Tinya's mom with confidence.